And we are going live. Bringing up the game screen. There we go. Hello everyone and welcome to the PTGL Finals. This is going to be VP Gamers taking on Team LaGTT, formerly known as Latin American Gaming. So first we're going to be introducing the two teams to you guys a little bit here before we get into the first game. So joining me today is going to be Pat, Hand from Above McLean. I am Ken Nursky-Decker. So Pat, go ahead and tell us a little bit about VP Gamers.
Well, VP Gamers is relatively new in the pro scene, but in this league alone, we have been pretty dominant, that team has, with 7 wins, 0 losses, getting them into today's finals. They have been riding high with one player alone basically being their champion is Frisky. He is 24-4, so he is today's champion for VP. Let's see how they do.
Yes, and the other team is going to be LaGTT, formerly known as Latin American Gaming. Now they have changed their name up, and they are Latest and Greatest Gaming. Used to be a Warcraft 3 team, still are a Warcraft 3 team, but now have branched out into Starcraft 2. Their lineup for today is going to be Bandino, who's going to be starting them off, and then Odin, who actually won 4 of their games to take their series versus Team PP or Pew Pew, and then Gamfer, and then Reveler will be their last player, so that is going to be their lineup. What is the lineup for Team VP, Hand?
Frisky's up first, and he is our champion, so no matter what, we will see him again, possibly. We have Suppy, VP Cry, and VP Chance. So a very hard, very good lineup from VP. And VP did take on Team TQ, beating them 4-2 to get into these finals.
Alright, and just to let you guys know, this is going to be a Koth-style format. So there's 4 players on each team. The champion can play twice, so the champion has to be eliminated twice. So each team needs to get 5 wins in order to win the entire finals and take home the PTGL Season 1 Starcraft 2 Championship for their team. So you will be seeing Frisky twice. You'll be seeing the champion of LaGTT, which I believe is going to be Bandino, if I am correct.
No, it was Odin, actually,
Odin will be their champion. Thank you very much. So Odin will be playing twice in this. And then the rest of the team only gets 1 game. So once the other 3 players, be that Cry, Chance, Suppy, or Bandino, Gamfer, or Reveler, get eliminated, they are done and they are out, and that is going to be the end of their ability to play, but the 2 champions will play twice and will have to be eliminated twice. So first team, the 5 wins, will take home everything.
Alright, and now just a little house cleaning. Since this is the final, Season 2 is coming up very soon, guys, of the PTGL. It is actually, they are taking applications now. And the application process ends on the 6th of July. So, it is coming.
Alright, and I think we're all set here. We'll be able to get the players going in just one moment here, and we'll get into game number 1 of these finals with
Alright,
VP.
and I will let them know we are ready.
Yep, we're going to have a PvP on the first game. We're going to start off on MLG Shakira's Plateau. So just ready for the game to get started up. I'm absolutely excited for this matchup. These teams did play each other once before, but VP was it was Insanity. Insanity merged with VP, became one team now, became a much stronger team in my opinion when they merged.
And this we are underway, sir.
Yes, indeed. We're going on to the first map. Oh, my God, Hand. I'm so excited for this matchup here.
I cannot wait. This is an MLG Shakira's Plateau map. We have PvP, which, me being a Protoss, absolutely excited. And I love watching Frisky play. Not going to lie.
Definitely. Frisky's an amazing player. He's a Grandmaster's level player. One of the better Grandmasters actually in there. Almost was going to get sent to MLG Columbus, but a couple of the VP guys got pulled a little. Decided not to send them just yet, but could be seeing some VP guys going to some of those events, the live events.
And I know Lag Event is sending to MLG as well, so...
Yep.
I mean, no slouch at all. You want to do our intros?
Yes, indeed. First, we're going to be starting off here, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map as the red Protoss for Team VP Gamers is going to be Frisky. And his opponent, starting off the matchup, spawning as the orange Protoss in this PvP on MLG Shakira's Plateau, is going to be Bandino.
So we got a little Bandino versus Frisky. MLG, the only little difference really in the MLG Securas is going to be the bunker or the supply depot at the bottom there. So you really can't wall off at the bottom.
Well, actually, on this map, they do have the bunker, or supply depot, I should say. It is at the bottom of the first ramp. Not at the bottom of the second ramp. The second ramp is a wide ramp, so you already can't do that. So, already not an issue there. This is a modified version of the current Blizzard version, so if you are familiar with the Blizzard version of it, it's essentially the same thing, only the players are going to be forced to spawn in cross positions.
Yep, which they have, and this will make it for either a very quick, I would say 4-gate from PvP, God knows we still see it, or maybe something creative out of our guys.
Yeah, PvP is starting to see a lot of new styles, especially with some of the changes to the warp gate timings, and the ability to do Robo and Phoenix builds in PvP a little more often now. So you do see some different types of builds actually now coming out of the players. It's not just straight 4-gate versus 4-gate all the time, although players still do tend to 4-gate, so we could very well see 4-gate versus 4-gate, but we could see something a little bit more creative come out of these players, but we'll have to see. Undoubtedly, neither one of these players are going to want to show their hand entirely unless they're trying to trick their opponent as to what they're going to be doing before they can get rid of the scouting probes.
Oh, for sure. I mean, right now it's just really one gas, one gateway. They'll drop their cyber core pretty quick. Other than that, it's going to be let's see what we can hide and get away with.
Exactly. Neither player's going to want to show their hand right away. Wants to make sure that they can get any advantage that they can, and the mental advantage can be an absolutely huge advantage. So definitely don't want to give that away in the early game if you can avoid it.
Nope, and Bandino does have his probe, just being a little pesky probe. Chilling out, but we do have the Mr. Zealot coming on out to hopefully chase him away. Same thing with Frisky. Frisky's actually being a little bit more pesky with his probe. And they get us around, and now he runs the probe away, just a little bit of health left. But he was trying to probe harass with his, so...
Yep, going into the line, poking at the other opponent's probes. Just trying to be as annoying as possible. Throw your opponent off in any way, shape, or form that you can from his build. Anytime you can do that, it is absolutely the best way to do things. Do have both the Zealots chasing these probes, or at least attempting to chase these probes out of their bases. Looks like Bandino's just going to get his out of there, whereas Frisky is going to try to be as annoying as humanly possible and keep that probe in there until the last minute. Is going to see that second gateway go down.
And there he goes, and there's a third now. So, good time for Frisky to pull, because the Stalker just came out.
Yep, do have 3 gateways down for Bandino, just 2 gateways down for Frisky at the moment. Now adding a 3rd gateway as well. No 4 gates just yet. So it looks like both players might be going for an early 3-gate, but we'll see if either one of them add a 4th gate on. And yes, both of them are indeed going to be doing that, I do believe. Oh no, we have a warp gate morphing out one of the gates. So just 3-gate versus 3-gate right now. Sentry coming out now for Frisky.
And Bandino is expanding, so he went with the 3-gate expand rule. Perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable on this map, especially because the rush distance is so far.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, against that expand, we actually have Frisky putting up a very fast Robo. So it looks like Frisky might be planning on doing some kind of a 1-base push here. Probably use that Sentry to keep Bandino out of his base so that Bandino is in the dark as much as humanly possible. It's going to be getting up that robotics way. We'll see what he ends up doing. The robotics can go into a couple of different builds. Sometimes players will go with like a 2 Stalker type, 2 Colossus type of push. Sometimes with Thermal Lance, sometimes without. Other times they sometimes have been using it to do a Blink Stalker build where you use a Observer to actually try and blink up onto the other guy's ramp. So we'll see what Frisky decides to do here.
Oh, he's going to chase Bandino's 2 Stalkers away. But those 4 Stalkers... Oh, wait! Now Frisky is down in the Stalker count, so we're going to have to turn tail and run away. But if you notice up at the top there is a proxy pylon for Frisky up there, Nursky.
Yes, there is indeed. He is even putting down more proxy pylons, and he is getting the Twilight Council, so that Observer plus Blink Stalker build that I was talking about is what Frisky is going to be doing. And it could potentially be extremely strong against this expansion of Bandino. What's going to really matter here is if Bandino can get enough out of this expansion in time to build up enough forces off of these 4 gates to hold off this Blink Stalker build that Frisky is doing.
Well, I mean, if he goes and starts saturating really quick, I mean, Bandino's only on 1 gas. So it's going to be a little shaky. I mean, really depends on how much Frisky does push into this if he keeps really going that route.
Yeah, the only issue for Bandino that I'm seeing right now is he's actually behind Frisky and Harvesters, even with the expand right now. Obviously, he's going to be pulling ahead in just a minute. He's going to have a little bit better mineral income, but Frisky actually still pretty close at this point in time. So if Frisky hits a good timing here, he could really do some damage to Bandino. Even if he doesn't win the game, if he can cripple Bandino, he could take an expansion of his own behind this Blinkstalker push and potentially put it into the later stages of the game with a very good position. So we will have to see what Bandino decides to do. He's going to even be putting down a cannon here at his natural. So that will actually help him out a little bit.
You know what my dream is, Nursky?
What is your dream, Han?
My dream is to one day see carriers in a PvP.
Maybe someday you will get to see that. So we do have a couple forces for Frisky hanging out. So it's like he's just going to be pushing with the Stalkers for now. We'll see if he actually does decide to do something else. But he is going to actually expand here now. So that's kind of an interesting move.
Looks like he's going to try to blink up in the back of the base.
Well, he did see the expansion. He had an observer there. Saw the expansion, so he knows that there is an expansion there. But yeah, it looks like he's going to be pressuring forward. He has to have 4 Stalkers up at the front here. Probably going to try and blink up while he pressures the front with this other group of Stalkers. And now he blinks into the base. Here he goes, straight into the probe line.
And only 1 Stalker against 4. This is not good at all. And here comes the front attack as well.
Yep, and down here we have those guys pushing in on the front. We have those trying to go through the mineral line over here in the back. Couple of forces now for Bandino going to come forward, and Frisky's just going to blink straight out of the base after the harassment. Now he's going to pressure back towards the front. Getting force fielded, but with that blink is going to easily be able to get out of the base. So applying a little bit of pressure, but now having to back off. The question is going to really be, though, is if Frisky can actually get enough harassment done here to actually stay in this game. Because as you can see, he is behind by about 10 Harvesters already. So going for this fast Blinkstalker build, now with the expansion on the way, almost complete. He is a little bit behind, but he's going to be blinking up into the base. Takes out 1 Stalker, going to take out a 2nd Stalker, 3rd Stalker completely eliminated. Now he's going to be focusing down one of the pylons, going into the base of Bandino once again, hitting some probes. Here comes the rest of the Stalkers for Bandino, and Frisky's actually going to back out of the base. Even though he actually had a superior force there, I'm not really sure if that was the best move by Frisky. Maybe he should have pressed that attack a little bit more. I mean, he does have 17 Stalkers versus just 6 Stalkers and 5 Zealots, so definitely with an advantage there. Maybe could have pressed it a little bit more.
I do like what he's going towards, though. If you notice, he's getting Colossi tech out. So this could be a real big,
Oh, just missed those Zealots headed towards his base.
But, as I said, I like what Frisky was doing. Bandino's going to go sneaky and try to keep Frisky on 2 base, and there's a Dark Shrine coming down.
Yep, we do have a Dark Shrine on the way in the base of Bandino. It's right here next to his Nexus. Meanwhile, back in the base of Frisky, that Robotics Bay is complete. We'll be moving towards Colossus. First Colossus is on the way, adding a 4th gateway as well. But here comes those couple of Zealots that I was talking about that Frisky actually missed.
And Frisky's in the base again. He just blinked up there.
And he actually force-fielded his own Zealots out of the way, so he's going to have to warp in another Zealot, and it's going to just barely get in enough hits to finish off that last Zealot. Back in the base here, we do have those Blinkstalkers of Frisky trying to be annoying once again. Moving in there. Bandino's force is a little bit out of position, was probably paying attention more to that Zealot than to the front of his base. Lost that front cannon. Couple of probes even went down. If we look at the income tab really quick, we do see it is 47 to 36. So Bandino's still with the lead, but Frisky attempting to keep him in check for now.
Well, this could be really bad because that shrine is just about to finish. And there it is.
Dark Shrine is up. If we look in the base of Frisky, absolutely no detection besides the Observer.
So I really hope he doesn't. And there goes those dark. Oh, wait, no, he's sitting them.
Nope, has not sent them yet. If you look at the vision of Frisky, he has not seen the Dark Shrine, so he has no idea that they are there. So we're going to easily walk by the forces of Frisky here. The question is, will Frisky notice that little blur on this map? I do not think he did. I do not see another Observer in production. Do not see his Observer in Leg and Bandino's base moving back towards his base. So this could be absolutely terrible for Frisky, but he is getting some damage done now inside of the base of Bandino, going straight through the mineral line, doing a ton of damage to these probes. Going to be picking off several probes, but now here comes the DTs over here in the base of Frisky. Frisky's completely unprepared for this. DT's immediately just taking out probes left and right. He really needs to get out an Observer. He's even chrono boosting out 2 Observers. Yep, he's going to just try and pile up in his mineral line, block the DT from getting to too many of the probes. Back in the base of Bandino, we do have those Stalkers now fighting. Frisky's kind of lost control of these, though, because he is worried about the DTs, and it's going to miss-micro these and lose all of those Stalkers that were in the base of Bandino. Does have detection up now, cleans up that last DT, but there is one more DT left to clean up. Waiting for that Observer to get over there. Does finally get over there. Cleans up that last DT, but now Frisky sitting here with a couple of Blink Stalkers and that one Colossus. If we look at the unit tabs really quick, we do see it as 9 Zealots and 10 Stalkers for Bandino versus the 6 Zealots and 12 Stalkers with 1 Colossus for Frisky. So Frisky obviously not in a bad position at this point in time, just a little bit behind in supply, but still quite a bit behind in the Harvester count. Do have charge lots on the way now for Frisky, and then Archons, interestingly enough, on the way here from Bandino.
I was just definitely scratching my my goatee here a little, going, we're going to have Archon versus Colossus. This is something I don't get to see too often.
I will tell you right now, I have seen this beforehand. I will say straight up that in the past, it hasn't ended up too good for the player with the Archons, but we will see how this turns out. That Thermal Lance is on the way, but not completed. That could play out absolutely huge here in this first matchup, as without the extended Thermal Lance, it'll make Frisky have to push his Colossuses up forward more, which will give Bandino a chance to maybe pick off the Colossuses out of the army. But we will see how this actually pans out in just a moment. Frisky does know he has the Archons, has one of those Observers forward, sees the entire army of Bandino minus the 1 Archon. So he does know what he's up against. That third now
and
of
that
Bandino
DT's going to get picked off right now.
Yep, DT quickly goes down as Bandino is going to try and push forward with another DT, but plenty of detection now for Frisky. Has 2 Observers with his army, so even extra detection at that. A third over here at his army, and he's going to be attacking into the third here hand. Does not want to let this third base go up of Bandino. Bandino's going to be forced to push out to defend this third. There goes those Colossus.
Look at the force fields, oh my god!
Yep, force fielded off a couple of the Zealots of Bandino. Bandino's warping in more, but they're not going to be able to get through the force fields. Colossus doing their job, taking out a lot of those Zealots very quickly. Now we have the Stalkers versus the Archons. Which player is going to win here? Moving forward, takes out one of the Colossus. Second Colossus goes down. Bandino now with the advantage, but Frisky with some reinforcements coming in takes out another one of those Archons. Thermal Lance is complete. One Archon remains. This game is absolutely toward hand. Back and forth they are going.
Well, Frisky is changing it up in a smart move. He is going Immortals. So, Immortals will make Archons go bye-bye really quick.
I can't help but notice, though, that Bandino still has the advantage in the Harvester count by a decent amount. Also, the supply advantage starting to get more and more in his favor. This third base now coming online. Bandino, as far as his macro goes, is playing just a little bit ahead of Frisky. Frisky going for that kind of more one-base play at first. Here comes another DT, instantly incinerated.
Now, I'm really finding this one interesting as well. I mean, I've played it for a while, and now I see with Templar Archives.
Yep, he is going to be at Templar Archives. I'm not sure if he's planning on using Psionic Storm with this composition. I actually haven't seen somebody go Archon with Templar and DT before. Or is actually, no, that's going to be...
Oh, he's making Archons.
That's Frisky going to be
marking Archon.
Yeah, so Frisky's going to be adding Archons. My apologies, guys. So Frisky's going to be adding Archons. It's actually not a bad move. Bandino's Archons tank a lot of damage, so now Frisky's going to have the added advantage of having some Archons to tank damage for his own army, because a large part of what definitely helped out Bandino in that first army battle was the fact that he had those Archons to absorb a lot of the damage from Frisky's Stalkers, allowed his units behind the Archons to knock out all of Frisky's units. So Frisky adding these Archons could be extremely powerful. Yep, we do have Frisky pushing in. The Stalkers are going to blink forward, try and pick off a couple of the units. Here comes that Colossus with the extended Thermal Lance, but a bunch of units coming in and flanking the Colossus of Frisky. Colossus is taking a ton of damage, hand.
Oh, that Immortal did not even have a chance.
Nope, it looks like the army of Frisky is actually going to get cleaned up here by Bandino. Bandino's macro is just too far ahead of Frisky's right now. His army is just too much larger. And now Frisky is having to retreat with these Stalkers, trying to get as much damage done as he can. But at the same time, we have Bandino now trying to press the advantage. He's going to be moving straight into the third of Frisky, and it's going to go to take it out. And this is not looking very good for Frisky. This looks like Bandino might be taking game one here as he's now pressing his advantage. Frisky's furiously trying to get up some units, but I just don't know if he's going to have enough to hold this next push from Bandino.
No, because that is a ton of charge lots.
Both players on 2 attack upgrades right now. We have the first armor upgrade coming for Bandino right now, but Bandino's going to be pushing in here. This could be the last battle of the game if Bandino can break Frisky. Frisky using those zealots, but then blinking in.
Blink.
Yep, that Colossus taking a ton of damage. Looks like Frisky's unit's getting overwhelmed.
There's the GG's. Wow, that was an impressive game. Definitely it wasn't 4-gate versus 4-gate. It was just a straight-up hardcore, let's see what Protoss can throw out there and play with. I was impressed by Bandino. That Archon play with the Charge-a-Lot, definitely, wow, yeah.
Yep. Bandino's going to put LaGTT up now. 1-0 in this matchup. It definitely was a good strategy by both players. I think Bandino just going for that 3-gate straight into a fast Nexus, whereas Frisky saw the 3-gate, was maybe worried about the 4-gate, got up a Robo, wanted to check and see what's going on, was going to go for that 1-base play. But on this map, I think if any map you're going to fast expand on, this map is definitely one of the best maps to fast expand on. So I think it was a pretty smart play by Bandino, and he capitalized and beat Frisky.
Yeah, I was just shocked. That was definitely... And the Charge-Lots really did make, a big thing. Now, just throwing it out there, guys, yet again, we do have Season 2 on the way. Apps are happening now. June 3rd is when applications close. Qualifiers start July 7th. Wow, I do apologize. And, yeah, we're getting there. It's a new format. It's new everything. We have 2 divisions this time for the PTGL. You have the Thor division and you have the Firebat division, which is going to be the division just below Thor. So it should be a definitely interesting time. Cannot wait. I know it looks like maybe you and me might be getting to cast that whole season, Nursky.
Yeah, I'm absolutely excited about that. If that does indeed transpire, it would be absolutely awesome to be casting games for the PTGL. It is an awesome league. A lot of good teams. They're going to have 2 different divisions. I mean, what more could you possibly want out of a league?